No lie, this episode of Dragon Ball Super was absolutely hilarious, and the first half of the episode, I know people love the fights, I know people love to see action and all that shit, but sometimes a very simple comedic feeling episode like this is very good. It kind of gives you room to breathe in a way, it gives the story room to breathe, so that way we're not jumping from one climactic battle to the next, and episodes like this really provide that. And the first half of this episode did not need any action. I mean, the second half of the episode had action, which is all cool and all, but like just everything about the episode kind of expanding more on the characters, just really seeing who they are. Like Beerus, honestly, even though the beginning of Super, it kind of made him seem a little bit more menacing than what Battle of Gods initially did, ultimately it just really showed his character. He's like a goofy kind of guy with a fuckload of power, but you really don't want to piss him off, because if he does get pissed off, he might get out of hand. But that's just like anybody else in this world, that, like, you know, you push him to their extremes. It's just that his extreme is a really small deal. Like, you know, it just takes the smallest shit that'll really set him off. But ultimately, it just really felt like we got more of Beerus's character and understanding him more, which he's a pretty simple dude for the most part, and kind of seeing where he's going with this whole thing of like, oh no, I want Goku to keep on focus and shit like that. Initially, you got to think for a second, him putting up this Monaka lie at the end of Battle of Gods, it makes you question, because in this episode, he was saying his motive for this is because he wants Goku to, you know, get stronger, so when this big universal tournament happens, Goku will be able to take out everybody and they'll win and stuff like that, which I don't think that that's going to be the next arc, because the way, you know, the Lord of Everything was setting things up is as if that's going to happen probably down the road, opposed to like immediately. I mean, if it does happen immediately, I'll be shocked, because honestly, it feels as though that's like 2 arcs down the road, 3 arcs down the road towards the end of Super, that we're going to have this massive tournament and stuff like that. But going back to Beerus, it feels as though he's using that now as an excuse, like, yeah, that's why I want Goku to be stronger, but he didn't have that case when he actually initially made up the lie about Monaka. It was just like, hey, yeah, there's a guy that's even stronger than you, so you gotta wonder, initially, what was his motive? Was it just that he wanted, again, a good fight from Goku? Why did he initially make that lie up if that wasn't even the case regarding the tournament happening until later on down the road? And I mean, seeing the fight with Goku versus Beerus, it almost felt as though a small mini Battle of Gods 2 or some shit, him fighting. And honestly, you could definitely see the improvements in Goku. I mean, even though Beerus was basically in this costume and stuff like that, Goku in his normal form was kind of going at it in a little spar with Beerus, and Beerus was actually getting heated and serious. So you gotta think, if Goku went Super Saiyan Blue with the Kaioken and shit like that, I think he would at this particular point give Beerus somewhat of a run for his money. I don't think still that he's at that level to take Beerus out, because Beerus is like, you know, the statue of like, okay, this is as high as you can go in Dragon Ball Super, and Goku isn't quite there yet, but you could definitely see improvements that even in his normal form, he's kind of keeping up with Beerus, opposed to like in Battle of Gods, or, you know, the early parts of Super, where he got, what, nerfed in Super Saiyan 3 mode, like Beerus just smacked the shit out of him and did him dirty in Super Saiyan 3, so you could see the improvements in Goku's power in this episode. Even though it was a comedic based episode, ultimately you got to see how far Goku's come since that first fight with Beerus. And I mean, honestly, the comedy in this episode, everything, it was just a really good, chill episode, getting a little bit of action. And I mean, at the end of the day, Monaka is really, really fucking weak. Like, I hope they keep him around just to keep the joke going regarding Goku and shit like that, but if Trunks elbowing him knocked him out and made him fucking cry, Monaka is beyond weak, because it wasn't like Trunks was like purposely doing it. It was just, you know, an accident. So Monaka is definitely 150% weak, not just like on a, oh, you know, maybe he could. No, he is a weak ass motherfucker. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Satan could whip his ass. And I asked this question on Twitter, but I kind of want to ask it in the video. What do you guys think? Who would win in a fight, Mr. Satan or Monaka? I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Satan could actually legitimately, without lying, take out Monaka. And yeah, honestly, it was a very good episode. I would say 7.5 to 8. It felt very good in the sense of like, it was a chill down time, but you also seeing a little bit of the progression of Goku, getting a little bit more characterization of Beerus. Even though we pretty much already established who he is, it was kind of pushing forth more of like, yeah, Beerus is just this kind of silly guy, but he does have a temper and shit like that. So it was giving good characterization for Beerus. And overall, I mean, maybe they overplayed Goku's stupidity a little bit too much in this episode. I mean, Goku's been like, you know, a dunce for a lot of different things, but like, my gosh, they tricked the living fuck out of him and the little slip up that Yamcha pulled and shit like that. Goku still didn't catch on. They definitely overplayed a bit of his stupidity. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode though. Did you get a laugh with it? Did it feel real chill? I mean, the next episode doesn't seem like it's gonna be as good as this episode, because it's more so like babysitting Pan, and it's not like this episode where you had like a nice little fight. You had more Beerus and Whis, because Beerus and Whis, I think, are one of the best things that was introduced to the Dragon Ball franchise in a long time. Because I mean, from Battle of Gods to Resurrection F to all of Super and shit like that, they always bring this extra element, because you got Beerus the hothead, but at the same time he is a decent dude. Then you have Whis' comedy and shit like that, and when you kind of take them out of it, it kind of goes goes into something else. It doesn't really feel like this new element that's been added to the story and everything. So next episode doesn't seem like it's gonna be as good, but we'll have to wait and see, because I was surprised with this episode, to be honest with you. I did not think that it was gonna be this good and enjoyable of an episode. And again, who would win, Monaka or Mr. Satan? Do you think Mr. Satan's still gonna want to keep him as the mascot for his dojo and his team? Hey, overall thoughts. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed anything about this video, make sure to drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.